Now, something a little bit amusing that you've also been covering. Since Donald Trump, he took over the Kennedy Center. He appointed himself in charge of it. And one of the things he's done is banning drag shows. And there's been quite the uproar, from the usual suspects, not to mention a bit of rewriting of history. Have a listen.
Drag has been around for centuries. Shakespeare performed in drag.
Natalie, I think they misunderstand. Shakespeare wasn't about drag. It was that men had to play the part of women. It wasn't drag, actually. But tell us about the Kennedy Center and what is going on there.
Well, I think that's what we call a revisionist history that I guess only George Soros could probably get behind. But look, in the same way that President Trump is toppling the sort of globalist, elitist economic world order that the United States of America has put forth for decades, the Kennedy Center, I think people in your audience should understand that is sort of the high church of the DC swamp, of the cultural elite here, the sort of New York Beltway class, the DC betters who think that, they hate MAGA, they detest President Trump. So for President Trump to have gone in there and pushed back on the cultural filth and sewage that those people have jammed down the throats of, everyday Americans for years, I don't think you can overstate how impactful that is, and frankly, how probably traumatizing it is to the elites who used to use that beautiful building to host drag shows.
It's fascinating, isn't it? I mean, Trump is moving on so many fronts. It's exciting times. How does everyone in America keep up with it? Are they, Natalie?
Well, it's the flood the zone strategy, which my wonderful boss, Stephen K. Bannon, sort of came up with. But look, I think that the flooding the zone strategy sort of carries a pejorative connotation with it. I think what it really is that the Trump administration has to work overtime to fix the errors, mishaps, and most importantly, intentional destruction of this country, right? When you have an open border, 10 million plus people let in, horrific trade deals, horrific Afghanistan withdrawals, horrific bungled Middle East peace plans, of course, President Trump is going to have full spectrum dominance and focus on every single issue with haste, because the Biden regime left this country in such shambles that they have to flood the zone. It's the only chance that we have to actually save this country.